Hello everyone, happy Saturday morning. Mark had to work early today. So this is what this is what Saturday looks like. Not completely dressed, wearing my glasses because I can't be bothered to try to look cute and I don't want to squint. So I'm not really I was fishing for something that would be a relevant, important topic, something that would be meaningful and change the world and go viral and show true colors, and it just wasn't coming. So instead, I thought we would just have a little coffee. I'll have a cigarette. Don't feel like you have to, and touch on some of the things that I was catching up on the news this morning. A little bit what's coming up this weekend, and just chat. So pull up your own cup of coffee, and we'll just check in with one another. So, y'all know what the weekends means too, right? Weekends means two things for me. I put stuff in my coffee because I drink black coffee all week, and I'm rocking an unfinished basement. Why dirty another pair of underwear for 2 days? So I'm watching the news this morning, and apparently, for any people out there who are writers or into Scrabble, perhaps, the Scrabble dictionary has added a few new words, and they're interesting. They're part of the vernacular, depending on, I guess, the company you keep, which I guess makes them not the vernacular. But I was very excited to hear that the word anti-vaxxer made its way in. I'll say this about that. I've got all my shots, and a few extra for good measure. So I should be okay. Except the flu shot. I had the flu shot once, and I felt a little sick afterwards, and to be perfectly frank, I don't know if I've ever had full-on flu. So for that, whatever. The word bae, which is, I guess, cute for baby. It's a term of affection, B-A-E. I've only used it once, ever, but I've heard it used a lot, and it seems nice. Fleek, which is, I've only heard within certain communities. I only used it once, and I got a couple stares. Not, I'm offended stares, more like, how the hell did you know how to use that word stares? I told some woman that her hair was on fleek and her eyebrows were on fleek, and it was more like, I'm impressed that you're trying, but shut up. So, I think it's like if you go to a foreign country and try to speak their language, they think it's like cute and flattering, but shut up, and they know more than you. They'll speak English. It's okay. So that was my bit of word games for the morning, starting to get the juices flowing. The other thing I saw was that, and this is right up my alley, it's dear to my heart, there's something called a nap bar, which is in the works, or is a real thing somewhere. You go to a place, I guess for the power napping crowd, for people that work and maybe on their lunch break would go, and they provide you with a robe and slippers and an eye mask, and you can change out of your clothes, I guess like a tanning bed almost, and it's about $1 a minute, and you can lay there and nap. So 20-minute nap, $20. I think that's about the rate for a cheap massage too, is about $1 a minute. And you can rest up and go back to work. Now, I'm a napper. I'm a big napper. Mark's not a napper. And I've arranged 2 places in my home where I can nap. My chair with an ottoman, though last night I just put my feet up on the couch and I was able to. And, of course, the bed. And I sleep on Mark's side of the bed because it's closer to the TV and a nightstand, and I can get all my toys. I can have my drink, my phone is there, ashtray, all the other stuff that I need. So, yeah, I would use a nap bar. But, I mean, couldn't you just as easily sleep in your car? I mean, I guess if it's 90 degrees out, you don't want to boil yourself, but, I had thought about sleeping under my desk a few times. Like, if you've ever seen Seinfeld, there's the episode where George actually builds, like, a shelf for an alarm clock, and he has a pillow, and he's just sleeping under his desk. And I've thought more than a few times, because I have a bigger L-shaped desk. I could fit under there. Hell, I could bring a friend. There's plenty of room. So, well, and then for the rest of my day today, it's just usual Saturday stuff, I think. Already so far. The chores get split up depending on who's home. Usually Mark's home during the day. Let me get that out of the way. I'm not blowing smoke in your face, I'm blowing it out of your face. And so since I'm home, I made the bed, did the dishes, tidied up. Mark says redding up, and that refers to tidying up or cleaning. I'd never heard it before, so either I live in a bubble or he's making it up. I don't know. Fill me in if you've heard. That's so good. So I'll do a little bit of that. Get a shower. I may shave, I may not. There's really no reason to. If I shave on Sunday night, that'll get me through Wednesday, maybe Thursday when I need to shave again. So I don't think I have to do any presenting this week, so I don't have to look super on point. So I might just put that off, actually. But we'll see. Sometimes I feel motivated, and if there's a day I don't feel good, today I'm feeling okay. Little headache, but mentally I'm square. I'm pretty cool. And if mentally I don't feel good, sometimes I'll try to spruce up my physical appearance and try to just, well, if I can't feel good, I'll look good. And I'll shave and put on something I like to wear and think of an excuse to leave the house, even if it's just to go to the corner store. Get myself looking cute, you know. Sometimes one of those really shallow, you know, looks from somebody will just... It's one thing if Mark says I'm attractive. Of course he thinks I'm attractive, I would hope. Especially after all these years. But sometimes it's nice to turn a head once in a while, too. I know he does. He's cute. Mark's cute. I would think even a handful of heterosexual men from time to time might turn their head if they have, you know, let's say they're 95% straight and 5% not so sure. He's just that kind of personality. He's that type of temperament where men like that kind of go to him. When I was single, or even in a relationship, because not everyone always knows you're in a relationship, and sometimes they try to flirt, you know. I don't have a ring on or anything, and neither does Mark. But I attract a decidedly different crowd of men. I had like one stalkerish guy once. I was like, well, that's flattering to me. How effed in the head was I? And what dangerously low self-esteem that I felt, you know, adored when I had a stalker. I'm like, oh, he sent me 40 texts last night. He must really love me. God, I should have had a PFA. So at any rate, I'll be dicking around the house doing chore stuff and then probably take a nap. We do split up the chores differently. I mean, like I always say, in case you haven't been paying attention, Mark and I are gay and we're a couple. But chores are done by whoever's home, you know, like, but we split them up in a different sort of way. I do more of the, I don't know, I did a video on, you know, people who ask which one's the girl. And I don't know how you would decide that between two men, because nobody's the girl. That's what makes us gay. But in terms of gendered chores, I guess, you know, I do the dishes, I do a lot of the cooking, you know, those sort of things. Mark does the litter box. Mark does a lot more around the house than I do, truth be told. And I'll help out. And he's comfortable doing that because he doesn't like the way I do it. So, listen up, men. You don't want to do it that often? Offer to do it once. Fuck it up really, really bad, and they'll never ask you to do it again. But I'll try, and I'll fill in. Especially if he can't do something, I'll do it. I carry the heavier groceries. But he does the laundry. Again, because he doesn't like the way I do it. And we'll split up stuff like that. And I grew up in a house where the chores were split not along gender lines. My dad did a lot of the cooking. I did a lot of the cooking when I got old enough to. My mom can make an Afghan in an afternoon. And they're priceless looking. Everyone who knows my mother has some of her crochet work. So in a lot of ways, she's extremely talented. She worked at a Hallmark store for like over 20 years. She makes decorative stuff, setting the table, all sorts of things. Cooking, Dad and me. Thanksgiving, Mom makes a mean deviled egg and a relish plate, but the rest of it falls on us. She's not confident that I think she'd do it well, so she doesn't really try to do it. And she'll tell you a horror story or two about leaving the giblet bag in a chicken and serving it to my dad's boss, like right after they were married and stuff like that. But my dad did the ironing. My mom did the laundry. My dad had a suit and tie job, and we went to Catholic school, so when he was ironing his clothes, he'd iron ours. My mother could iron, she would do it too, but by and large at nighttime, my dad would just do all of our stuff. Mom did dishes, but Dad would clean the kitchen, like he would do the mopping of the floor. So they were divided up differently, and both my parents worked. So there wasn't time for Mom to get home early and make dinner for the man. I know there's families where that's the dynamic and that's what they do, and that's what that's what the wife is comfortable with, and that's what the husband's comfortable with, or the wife and the husband and the husband. Each relationship has their own rules. And as long as everyone's in agreement and nobody's secretly resenting the other one, you know, all that's gravy. But I think it's easier for me to kind of read along the lines differently. You know, my brother is not exactly a stay-at-home dad, because he teaches periodically, he teaches English, but time to time, most of the time, I think he's home, and my sister-in-law is the one who works full-time, and that works for them. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways families run, I guess. And the ways ours runs, right now he's out making the money and I'm going to take a nap. So how spoiled am I? So that's all for Coffee Talk today. Thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the alert after you do subscribe so you can find out when all the new videos are coming up. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Or you can follow us on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. And we will catch up with y'all soon. Bye.